The sun rose over Rajagaya, casting golden light on the bustling city as life began its daily rhythm. Traders shouted in the streets, their voices blending with the creak of cartwheels and the chatter of townsfolk. Amidst the noise, a young man named Anand struggled to calm his restless mind. Overwhelmed by his responsibilities, he sought guidance from the Buddha, whose wisdom was renowned across the land. Anand arrived at the banyan tree where the Buddha often taught, its shade offering a reprieve from the heat. Seated in meditation, the Buddha radiated a serene presence, drawing seekers to his side like a beacon of peace. Anand approached respectfully, his expression heavy with the weight of his thoughts. "Master," Anand began, kneeling before the Buddha, "how does one find peace in this world so full of turmoil and demands?" The Buddha opened his eyes, regarding Anand with compassion that seemed to pierce through his inner struggles. "Anand," he said, his voice calm yet profound, "peace is not found by escaping the world, but by embracing it with awareness." Anand frowned, puzzled by the answer. "But Master, the noise, the chaos, it overwhelms me. My thoughts are like the city streets, crowded and restless." The Buddha gestured to the ground, inviting Anand to sit. "Anand, do you see this earth beneath us? Though trampled by many, it remains steady, unshaken by footsteps." Anand nodded, his curiosity piqued. "Yes, Master, but how does that relate to my mind? It is as if my thoughts run wild." The Buddha smiled gently. "Your mind, too, can become like the earth, stable, unshaken. This stability is cultivated through mindfulness." "Mindfulness?" Anand asked, tilting his head. "What does it mean to be mindful? How can it bring peace to my restless heart?" The Buddha clasped his hands together, his gaze serene. "Mindfulness is the art of being fully present, Anand. It begins with the breath." Anand furrowed his brow. "The breath? Something so simple. Is it truly so powerful? Can it quiet the storm within me?" The Buddha nodded. "The breath is the bridge between the body and mind, the anchor that steadies the waves of thought. But how do I begin?" "Master?" Anand inquired earnestly, eager to grasp the wisdom offered by the Buddha's words. "Begin by sitting quietly," the Buddha instructed. "Close your eyes, and direct your awareness to the rhythm of your breath." Anand closed his eyes as the Buddha continued. "Feel the air enter your nostrils. Cool and refreshing. Feel it leave, warm and soft." "Master," Anand said softly, "as I try to focus, my mind wanders. My thoughts pull me away, like a boat adrift." "Attachment," he said, "is the source of much of our suffering. We hold on to what we believe should last. The mind, like a monkey, leaps from branch to branch. Gently guide it back." "Guide it back," Anand repeated, his voice tinged with uncertainty. "And if it wanders again? Will I not grow frustrated by my failures?" "Do not judge yourself harshly," the Buddha advised. "Each time your mind returns to the breath, you strengthen your practice." Anand opened his eyes, looking at the Buddha with newfound determination. "I will try, Master. But what of the world's endless demands? How can I stay mindful amidst them?" The Buddha gestured to the bustling city beyond the shade of the tree. "Anand, observe the river flowing through Rajagaya. It does not resist the rocks. It flows around them." Anand considered the metaphor, nodding slowly. "You mean I must adapt, allowing life to flow, rather than resisting it? Is this also mindfulness?" "Indeed," the Buddha said, his voice gentle yet firm. "Mindfulness is not confined to stillness. It is a way of being. But what does that look like?" "Master?" Anand pressed. "How can mindfulness guide me when I walk the streets? When I work? When you walk," the Buddha explained, "be aware of each step. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Walk with intention." "And when I work?" Anand asked, his curiosity deepening. Can I be mindful even amidst the noise and haste of my tasks? Yes. Anand, the Buddha affirmed. Bring your full attention to each action. Pour your presence into the task at hand. Anand's expression softened as he began to grasp the essence of the Buddha's teaching. So mindfulness is not escape, but immersion in the present? Exactly, the Buddha said, his voice filled with warmth. Through mindfulness, the present becomes a sanctuary, a refuge from turmoil. But Master, Anand said hesitantly, what if the present moment is painful? How can one find peace in suffering? The Buddha's gaze grew tender. Pain, Anand, is like a thorn. Mindfulness allows you to see it clearly and respond with care. Respond with care, Anand repeated, as if testing the words on his tongue. Does mindfulness ease the pain, or does it simply help us endure? It does both, the Buddha explained. By accepting pain without resistance, you lessen its grip. You transform suffering into wisdom. Anand fell silent, his heart moved by the depth of the Buddha's teachings. The other disciples listened intently. Their own minds stirred. The Buddha continued, mindfulness is the path to liberation. It frees you from the chains of distraction, bringing clarity and peace. But Master, Anand asked, is mindfulness enough? Are there other practices that support this journey toward liberation? Yes, the Buddha replied. Compassion, ethics, and wisdom are all pillars of the path. Yet mindfulness is the foundation. Anand bowed his head, gratitude shining in his eyes. Thank you, Master. I will dedicate myself to the practice of mindfulness. Beginning with my breath. The Buddha's smile widened, his serene presence filling the space beneath the banyan tree. Go forth, Anand, and carry this awareness into the world. Anand rose, feeling lighter than he had in weeks. Though the city's noise awaited him, he now carried a seed of stillness within. As Anand departed, the Buddha addressed the remaining disciples, his voice calm yet commanding. Mindfulness is the key to peace. My friends, Master, a disciple asked, can mindfulness truly transform the heart, even in the midst of life's greatest challenges? Yes, the Buddha affirmed. Mindfulness is not merely a practice. It is a way of being that transforms all it touches. The disciples nodded, their resolve strengthened by the Buddha's words. They too began to see the power of mindfulness unfold. Under the shade of the banyan tree, the Buddha sat in silence, his presence a living embodiment of the peace he taught. Another day, the sun rose over Rajagaya, gilding its streets with light as the city awoke to its usual clamor. Among the disciples gathered beneath the banyan tree, Anand sat quietly, his brow furrowed with lingering doubts. Though he had practiced mindfulness, he struggled to overcome his restless thoughts, which seemed to persist like unyielding waves. The Buddha arrived, his serene presence casting a calming influence over the assembly. His gaze swept over the disciples before resting on Anand. Anand, the Buddha said gently, you appear troubled. Share with us the thoughts that weigh on your heart this morning. Master, Anand began, his voice filled with hesitation. I have practiced as you taught, focusing on the breath and staying present in each moment. Yet my mind is like a wild storm, pulling me away from the calm I seek. I fear I lack the strength to master it. The Buddha regarded him with patience and compassion, then spoke, Anand, the mind is indeed like a wild horse, untrained and prone to wander. It resists discipline, but with persistence, it can be tamed. But Master, Anand said, what if the effort itself becomes a source of frustration? Each time my thoughts drift, I feel defeated. The Buddha nodded knowingly. Do not let frustration cloud your practice, Anand. The very act of returning the mind to the present is a victory. Mindfulness is not about perfection, but about persistence. Each time you guide your thoughts back, you strengthen the habit of awareness. A disciple named Kema, sitting nearby, raised his hand to speak. Master, even when I try to observe my breath, worries intrude and fill my mind. How can I silence them? Worries are like clouds, the Buddha said, gesturing to the sky above. They may obscure the sun, but they are impermanent. The sun remains behind them, ever radiant. Observe your worries without clinging to them, as if you were watching clouds drift by. Let them pass, and the clarity of your mind will shine through. Kema nodded, his expression thoughtful, as the Buddha continued, do not resist your worries, for resistance gives them power. Acknowledge their presence, and they will lose their grip on you, Anand interjected, his voice tinged with skepticism. Master, is it enough merely to acknowledge them? Surely there must be more to finding peace than this. The Buddha's gaze softened. Anand, consider a traveler carrying a heavy sack. When he places it down, even for a moment, he feels relief. In the same way, when you set down the burden of your worries, even briefly, you create space for peace to arise. But Master, another disciple asked, what if the worries are about things we cannot change? How do we find peace in such circumstances? The Buddha smiled, his voice calm yet resolute. Acceptance is the key. Worrying about what cannot be changed is like trying to hold back the tide with your hands. Accept what is, and focus your energy on what can be done in the present. This is mindfulness in action. Anand sighed, his expression still troubled. Master, the practice of mindfulness feels so elusive, as if peace is always just out of reach. The Buddha gestured to a nearby lamp, its flame flickering in the gentle breeze. Anand, mindfulness is like tending a flame. At first, the wind may threaten to extinguish it, but with care and patience, the flame grows steady and bright, illuminating all around it. Trust in the process, and the light of mindfulness will guide you. Encouraged by these words, Anand bowed his head, resolving to renew his efforts. The disciples, too, sat in quiet reflection, absorbing the Buddha's teachings. The Buddha then shared a parable to illustrate his point. Once, a man sought to quench his thirst by reaching into a flowing stream. Impatiently, he stirred the water, but the more he stirred, the cloudier it became. Only when he let the water settle did it become clear enough to drink. In the same way, the mind becomes clear when it is allowed to settle through mindfulness. The disciples listened intently, their understanding deepening as the Buddha continued. The practice of mindfulness is not about forcing the mind into submission. It is about allowing it to settle naturally. Like the stream, through gentle and persistent attention. Kema spoke again, his voice filled with curiosity. His words filled me with a renewed sense of purpose, a spark of hope that seemed to illuminate the path ahead. What is the first step? I asked, eager to take action. When you approach your own mind with kindness, rather than harshness, you create the conditions for growth. Treat your thoughts as you would a frightened child, with patience and care. This is the essence of mindfulness with compassion. The disciples nodded, their hearts moved by the simplicity and profundity of the Buddha's words. They began to see that the path to peace was not a distant destination, but a journey that unfolded moment by moment, as the sun climbed higher in the sky. The Buddha addressed the assembly once more. Remember, mindfulness is not merely for the quiet moments of meditation. It is a way of being that touches all aspects of life. When you walk, walk mindfully. When you eat, eat mindfully. Let each action be an expression of your presence. Anand, now calmer and more determined, asked, Master, how can we share the practice of mindfulness with others, so that they too may find peace? The Buddha's gaze filled with warmth. Anand, the greatest way to teach mindfulness is through your own example. When you embody calm and awareness, others will be drawn to your presence. You become like a lamp, lighting the path for others. Let your practice be your offering to the world. The clearing came into view, the familiar presence of the Buddha drawing me closer like a beacon. The Buddha sat beneath a towering tree, his figure still and serene, embodying a profound sense of peace. As the banyan tree stood silently, its branches swaying gently in the breeze, the Buddha remained seated, his stillness a living testament to the peace he taught. Another day. The city of Rajagaya bustled as usual, yet within the gathering under the banyan tree, a quiet transformation brewed. What brings you here today, my friend? I seek guidance, I replied, my voice steady but filled with anticipation. I have begun reflecting on your teachings, but I am unsure how to navigate their depths. The Buddha arrived, his serene presence immediately silencing the murmurs of the crowd. He sat cross-legged under the tree, his expression peaceful yet attentive. Anand, the Buddha began, his voice gentle. You appear changed. What has your practice revealed to you since we last spoke? Master, Anand said, bowing deeply, I have practiced mindfulness as you taught. Though my days remain busy, I have discovered moments of clarity and peace. It is as if the chaos around me no longer consumes me but flows past me like a river. Another day, another lesson. Life's cycles continued, inviting reflection and growth, urging me to embrace the transformation within. With care and nurture, it can grow into a great tree, providing shade and refuge even in the fiercest storms, but this requires dedication and understanding of the deeper nature of mindfulness. A disciple named Sujata spoke up, her voice filled with curiosity. Master, what is the deeper nature of mindfulness? How can it sustain us during life's most challenging moments? The Buddha gestured to the tree under which they sat. Mindfulness, like this tree, is rooted in awareness of impermanence. All things in life are transient, like the leaves that fall with the seasons. When you embrace this truth, you free yourself from clinging to what cannot last, and in that freedom, you find unshakable peace. Anand furrowed his brow, seeking clarity. Master, if all is impermanent, does that mean we should not cherish the joys of life? The Buddha smiled, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. On the contrary, Anand, understanding impermanence deepens your appreciation for the present moment. When you drink a cup of water, savor its coolness, knowing it is fleeting. When you love, love fully, without fear of loss. Mindfulness teaches you to live with openness and gratitude, unburdened by the weight of attachment. Sujata nodded, her expression contemplative. Master, how do we cultivate this understanding in daily life? How can we let go of attachments without feeling empty? The Buddha reached down, picking up a handful of earth. Attachments are like this soil, he said, letting it slip through his fingers. When clung to, they weigh you down. But when held lightly, they nurture growth. Cultivate mindfulness by reflecting on the transient nature of all things. Not to create emptiness, but to create spaciousness within. In that space, peace and compassion can flourish. Anand bowed his head, his heart moved by the simplicity and profundity of the Buddha's words. Yet another question burned within him. Master, what of suffering? Even with mindfulness, is it possible to remain at peace when faced with profound pain or loss? The Buddha's expression grew tender, his voice soft yet resolute. Suffering, Anand, is like a wound. Mindfulness is the balm that soothes, the awareness that allows healing. When you meet suffering with mindfulness, you do not deny its presence, but you also do not let it define you. Instead, you transform it into wisdom and strength. A disciple named Rajan spoke, his voice heavy with emotion. Master, I have lost my dearest friend. Each moment is filled with pain, and I struggle to find any peace. How can mindfulness help me in my grief? The Buddha looked at Rajan with deep compassion. Grief, my friend, is the shadow cast by love. To grieve is to honor the connection you shared, to acknowledge the impermanence of life. Allow yourself to feel the pain, not as a burden, but as a testament to the love that enriches your being. Mindfulness teaches you to hold your sorrow with tenderness, to let it flow like a river, until it carries you to a place of acceptance. Rajan's eyes glistened with tears, yet within them flickered a glimmer of understanding. The other disciples, too, felt the depth of the Buddha's teachings resonate within their own hearts. The Buddha continued, his voice now like a steady current. Mindfulness is not only for the moments of calm, but for the storms that test your spirit. It is the practice of returning to the breath, the anchor that steadies the ship in turbulent waters. It is the practice of embracing life's impermanence, finding beauty even in its fleeting nature. And it is the practice of compassion, both for yourself and for others. As you navigate the trials of existence. Anand spoke again, his voice now filled with determination. Master, your words illuminate a path I wish to follow. But how can we share this light with others, to ease their suffering and guide them toward peace? The Buddha's gaze warmed, his voice suffused with gentle encouragement. Anand, the greatest gift you can offer others is your own inner transformation. When you embody the peace of mindfulness, you become a living example, a source of inspiration. Let your actions speak louder than words, and let your compassion ripple outward. In this way, you become a lamp, guiding others toward their own light. The disciples sat in silence, the depth of the Buddha's teachings sinking into their hearts like seeds taking root. Though the city beyond the banyan tree buzzed with activity, within the circle, a profound stillness prevailed. As the sun began its descent, casting a golden glow over the gathering, the Buddha addressed them once more. Remember, my friends, mindfulness is not a destination but a journey. It is the practice of being fully alive, fully present, and fully open to life's impermanence and beauty. It is the practice of holding all things lightly, with gratitude and compassion. In this way, you carry peace not only within yourselves but into the world, where it can touch the lives of many. The disciples bowed deeply, their hearts filled with gratitude and their minds alight with understanding. They departed, carrying the Buddha's teachings into their daily lives, ready to embody the light of mindfulness and share its gifts with all they encountered. As the banyan tree swayed gently in the evening breeze, the Buddha remained seated, his presence a testament to the stillness and clarity he imparted to all who sought his wisdom. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.